temperament. One thing about them that strikes you with enormous force. They seem more perfectly Jewish than you have ever seen, not because they wear a flowing cloak-like dress that conforms to your ideas of biblical garments, but because their faces have the Jewish cast of features. One of the most striking proofs of this is the fact that the very names and cities of Afghanistan and Kashmir are almost identical with the ancient homes of the Jewish people we find mentioned in the Bible. I shall mention the town in the area of Afghanistan and Kashmir, followed by its corresponding town found in ancient Jewish history. As you can see it, Kabul, Pune, Phoenicia, Zedon, Zidon, Himis, Hams, Gilgit, Golgotha, Ladakh, Ladar, Leh, Lehi, Sura, Shur, Suket, Sukoth. In fact, the list of towns that correspond with ancient Jewish towns as found in the Bible run into literally the hundreds. There's a list of them that I will reference to you at the end. The people of Kashmir and the surrounding regions have always claimed to be the Beni Israel, which means literally the children of Israel. Prejudice against Judaism is so strong in that area that there is no conceivable reason as to why they would claim such a thing for so many hundreds of generations, if indeed it was not true. But if Jesus did indeed travel to Kashmir in India, there should therefore be some evidence of a figure in that land around 40 AD or so. And remarkably, so it is. A figure named Yus Asaf is found to have made his appearance in Kashmir around that period of time. He was taken to be a spiritual leader of the people and was greatly hailed as such. The proofs that he is none other than Jesus are as follows. Firstly, his very name, Yus, bears a striking resemblance to Yasu, which was actually the name of Jesus in Hebrew and Persian. Asaph is a biblical name, which means healer or gatherer of the ones who are healed. In other words, the names of his disciples. And so his name, Yus Asaph, is identical to Jesus the Gatherer. Moreover, the title of the Gatherer indicates the function of Jesus in Kashmir, namely to gather the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Secondly, Yus Asaph was, by his own admission, a fugitive from a foreign land and was not a resident of Kashmir. Thirdly, with regard to the tomb of Yus Asaph, it is a historical work written some 400 years ago, known as Tarikh Azami, states on page 82 that the tomb is generally known as that of a prophet. He was a prince who came to Kashmir from a foreign land. He was perfect in his piety, righteousness, and devotion. He was made a prophet by God and was engaged in preaching to the people of Kashmir. His name was Yus Asaph. This is further corroborated by a 1,000-year-old Arabic work called Ikmaluddin, which states that Yus Asaph wandered about in several lands and towns until he reached a land called Kashmir. So he moved about in the land and lived and stayed therein until death overtook him. Fourthly, Yus Asaph is known as a Nabi, or prophet, by the Muslims who live in and around Kashmir and has always been known as such. This is very important because the epithet of Nabi cannot be applied to any Muslim saint, and so the figure of Yus Asaph must be a Hebrew prophet. This also precludes the possibility that Yus Asaph was a disciple of Jesus, for the term Nabi is only ever accorded to the prophets themselves. Yus Asaph was also given the name of Shahzada, which means prince, which also strongly identifies him with Jesus, who also called himself prince. Fifthly, and quite remarkably, Yus Asaph also claimed to have been born of a virgin mother. Sixthly, the teachings of Yus Asaph bear a striking resemblance to those of Jesus. Compare, for example, the parable of the sower, found in Matthew chapter 13:3, Mark chapter 4:3, Luke chapter 8:5, to the parable that Yus Asaph preached, which runs as follows. When the sower sows his seed, some fall on the highway, where the passengers tread it underfoot. Others are blown away by the wind. Others are picked up by the birds. Some seeds fall on rocky grounds and grow only until the roots reach the rock. Others fall among thistles. Only a small portion falls in rich earth, where it grows and brings forth fruit. Just as in the Bible, Jesus proceeds to explain the parable of the sower, so too in the works of Yus Asaph, he goes on to explain. The sower is the sage. The seed is his wisdom. The seeds that fall by the wayside, etc., etc., etc. Barlam and Josephat, page CXI. I'm just going to have a drink. Seventhly, the very name that Yusuf gave to his words that he preached was Bushra, which is the Hebrew term for the word gospel. Eighthly, the tomb of Yusuf has been held for the past 2,000 years by the inhabitants of the area to be that of Isa Sahib, which translates literally as Mr. Jesus. Ninthly, and this is quite a remarkable piece of evidence, Hindu scriptures also testify that Yusuf was none other than Jesus Christ. In an